Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live session on the All India mock exam paper discussion of the reasoning ability section brought to you by TalentSprint. I hope all of you are healthy and so is your preparation for this highly competitive SBI PO exam, the notification for which was released last week, right? So how are you all? I'm sure you have kickstart your preparation for this SBI PO exam, right? By the way, first of all, did you all complete your application? Because in my last session also I had mentioned that although the last date to register for this exam is on 6th of March, you should not delay the process, right? I mean, you should not procrastinate it. Complete your application at the earliest possible so that you're done with it and you don't fall into the trap of last minute problems where we have difficulties in completing the application due to slow servers and things like that. So did you all apply for the SBI PO exam? I see a lot of you have joined the chat already, right? Let me just name a few here. Nikhil Reddy, Harshad, we have KV, Nirnimesh Kumar, Sashi Kumar, Narendran, Vaishnavi, and Sunil Kumar, Anthony. Good. So good to see you all participating in this live session, and I'm glad that you have started interacting using the chat box there. Yeah, I see a lot of you have mentioned that you have completed your application, right? Anusha Murli, Rajan, Sunil Kumar, Nandini Venugopal. Good. Amit Yadav says he has not filled it yet. Who else? Prem has applied for the examination already, and a lot of others who have joined the chat recently, right? Sumit and Apurba Das, Ruhi Singh, Rohit Singh, Aditya, Naman Agarwal, Prabhat Gupta, Arjun Dikshit, Nitin Garg. Good. So I think I would repeat myself. Ensure that you complete your application at the earliest possible now, right? We are already on 15th of Feb. Although there are 20 more days left for your application, just try and do it before this weekend. Okay, now I see a couple of questions that have come here. One is on the syllabus, which I think we have already discussed in our last week's free live session, right? I mean, we had this quantitative aptitude paper discussion. So before that, we looked at what are the different subjects that are tested and what kind of syllabus is usually covered here, right? Anyway, to just quickly look at that, you know that in the preliminary examination we have three subjects here: quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, and English language. What is tested in quantitative aptitude? Well, it has got different modules like numerical ability, arithmetic ability, data interpretation, right? And some pure mathematics topics like mensuration, permutations and combinations, etc. So I think there's a full range of topics here, starting from number systems to LCM and HCF, number series, simplifications and approximations, percentages, ratio and proportions, time and work, time and distance, and whatnot, right? I mean, you should be prepared with everything. It's not that there are a few topics which are not tested in SBI PO exam. There's nothing like that. Similarly, when you look at reasoning ability, again a host of topics. To name a few, we have circular arrangements, linear arrangements, puzzles, assignment based problems, right? Blood relations, coded inequalities, coding and decoding, and a lot of other things there, right? Syllogisms, machine input output. These are again some of the important topics. I mean, we usually find questions from syllogisms and machine input output in almost every SBI PO exam. And then English language again covers, spotting the errors or finding errors, reading comprehension, right? Fill in the blanks, coherent passages, synonyms, antonyms, and things like that. Anyways, what you can do is log into our website talentsprint.com. There you will find a section called frequently asked questions, where we have shown the syllabus for all the different bank exams, right? And also we have shown what all is covered through our online programs. Okay, let's not discuss too much on that. I'm sure you will find enough sources to get the syllabus there. Let us talk about what we are going to do today. Now, like I had mentioned in the last session as well, we have started something new for our free learners, right? I mean, as a TalentSprint student, you get a lot of study material, lot of content available on our website 24/7. But those who all join us for such free live sessions used to only participate in the free sessions every week, right? But then we have opened up something new, which is our All India mock exams powered by TIA. Now, what are these? every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday, TalentSprint would conduct an all India level mock exam in the SBI PO prelims format, and all of you are welcome to join that, right? You can just join, register for that, take the all India mock exam. What we will do on the subsequent Wednesday is discuss the paper. So last Saturday and Sunday we had conducted an all India mock exam. We are discussing the questions from that paper today, but we'll be looking at only the reasoning ability questions today. Next week we'll look at English language and then quantitative aptitude and so on. Okay, so the details will be made available to you from time to time on our YouTube page, YouTube channel, Facebook page, and through other means of communication. But then golden opportunity for all of you, right? All India mock exam every week until your SBI PO preliminary exam happens. Free live session every week, every Wednesday, right? And then we are also coming up with something called as a daily dose for your SBI PO prep. So I'm sure with all these free stuff, you will find a lot of value getting added to your preparation. However, you must have a structured learning plan. You must ensure that you leave no stone unturned before you appear for your SBI PO preliminary examination, right? The real SBI PO preliminary examination. So keep practicing, because that's the only shortcut, right? The best way to beat the competition is to practice more than the competition, right? So do not waste any single minute in this period that you have before your SBI PO preliminary examination. And let me also not waste time in discussing too much about this. I'm sure all of you know all these details. Let's quickly get into the session. Now, what is the session about? Reasoning ability section. We are choosing, or we have already chosen, some questions from the last week's all India mock exam, which we will discuss here today. All right. So let me quickly share my screen and present the question to you all. I see some of you are asking about the fee and other things there. Please visit our website talentsprint.com. By the way, today is the last day of a exclusive offer that we are running, so you can explore and exploit that by visiting our website talentsprint.com. Let me share the screen now and present the questions to you all. But before we do that, I'll quickly give you some details about the top performers in our All India SBI PO prelims mock exam that was conducted from Feb 11 to 12. I'll just leave you with this slide for a few seconds. So here are the top 5 performers. I mean, a lot of students have participated, but TIA has analyzed their performance and has come up with these top 5 performers. So we have Vaibhavi Thakare, we have Kunal, Kajal, Siddhartha Shankar, and Swati Balasubramaniam. These are the top 5 performers. Of course, if you see Kunal and Kajal here, I've got the same score, 48.75. Look at the locations. Vaibhavi is from Gujarat, Kunal is from Karnataka, Kajal is from Haryana, Siddhartha is from West Bengal, and Swati is from New Delhi. And their scores on the right hand side, right? So we had conducted a mock exam for 100 marks in the SBI PO prelims format, and Vaibhavi has scored 77.25, which is a very good score. But then as you move to the second position, you see that there is a big drop in the value there, right? From 77.25 we are down to 48.75, and then 45.75 and 45. So the competition gets really tough as you move down here. I mean, number 1 and number 2 are standing far away from each other, but others are close. Anyway, so that's about the top 5 performers. All those who have participated in the All India mock exam must have got this report and a lot of analytics of your own performance by our artificial intelligence bot TIA. Before I move to the next slide, let me also highlight that the next All India level mock exam is scheduled from February 18 to February 19, right? Feb 18 to Feb 19, which is 2 days away. So you can participate in this All India level mock exam and again come back for our next free live session to discuss the paper. Chalo, let me present the first question to you all, right? I mean, we had 35 questions from reasoning in our mock exam last week. I have got the most complex ones, or some typical questions where we have found a lot of students have committed mistakes. So we'll be discussing only those type of questions, and here's the first one on your screens. So here we have a question on arrangements. It says study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. So I'll present the questions a little later. I just have the data here which you can work on and find out the arrangement. So it says A, B, C, D, E, F, H and K are sitting around a circular table facing away from the center, but not necessarily in the same order. Each one of them is also related to B in some way. B has siblings. And then there are a lot of clues given to us, right? E sits third to the left of C, B sits on the immediate right of C, only one person sits between E and B's daughter, and so on. So I think circular arrangement based question involving blood relations into it. So I'll give you about 5 minutes to try this out, and your time starts now. After 5 minutes, we'll discuss the solution to this one. Meanwhile, let me try and increase the font size of this so that you find it easy to read. Trust all of you have started working on this. Well, I'm sure it appears to be a little difficult because blood relations are involved, but if you do it rightly with the right strategy, step by step, you should be able to crack it, right? I just see Karthik has mentioned that image is not clear. Well, Karthik, we are streaming in the best quality possible, HD quality here. You have to adjust the picture resolution at your end. You will see a settings button on the bottom right of your video screen, right? A gear-like icon. So please use that to enhance the picture resolution based on your internet connection. I understand that some of you find it difficult to read, but that has to do with your connectivity and nothing at our end, right? Everything is going smooth from our side. See, Meera has just mentioned that the 480 pixels resolution is good. So why don't you guys try it out? All those who are finding it difficult, just try it out. Santosh has also mentioned that the image is not clear, but guys, like I said, there's nothing that I can do about it. You have to just change the picture resolution based on your internet connection. 3 minutes up. We have got only 2 more minutes. Trust all of you are on track. Shilpa Kumari says, can we do mock exam now? Well, Shilpa, the mock exam is open only on Saturday and Sunday. Every Saturday and Sunday. So the next mock exam will be on 17th of Feb, or sorry, 18th of Feb, 18th and 19th of Feb. So you have to wait until that. Okay, we have I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name properly. Kes here who says, I have made it, how can I show? Well, great if you have already cracked it, right? Just keep it with yourself. I'll start solving the question very soon. You just have to, do a self-assessment of your solution if you have got it right or wrong. And then when I present the question to you, it will be clear as to your arrangement was right or wrong based on the answers that you get. Ashish Verma mentions that I have solved most of the puzzle, but there's a huge doubt in the statement where it says B's son sits second to the right of. Alright, so just hold on, Ashish. We'll be taking up the solution in another minute or so. Let's see. So I think only one person has been able to crack it so far, right? Completely. Anybody else who's got it? How many of you are still trying it out? How many of you are still trying it out? Okay, we have Rohit Reddy here who has mentioned that he has solved it. That's it. It's only 2-3 of you. Prince Kumar is trying it. Vaishnav is also trying it. Dheeraj Singh has done it. But many of you are still trying, right? Parik Goel, Sonali Gaikar, Jyotis Singh, Rakesh, Shivi, Nandini, Shilpa Kumari, Sarvesh has done it. Okay. Anusha has also done it. But then Arjun Dikshit and Yurekha are trying. Meera says she's got tangled in a bad way. So she's trapped. Well, looks like a majority of you have not been able to crack it. You are still in the process. And this is the challenge that we have in bank exams, right? Especially in the reasoning ability section. We get a lot of such puzzles. And the common question that I face is, how do we solve such questions quickly? And the common answer that I always give is, don't solve it. Just skip and move to the next one. Because you never know how much time it would take. I mean, you just have to choose your questions wisely, right? Smart students will not solve every question that is asked in the exam. They'll solve the easiest ones first. And if time permits, they'll come back and try the other ones. So you just have to follow that strategy. Looks like a lot of you have found it to be difficult. Let us start solving it now, right? I think enough time has been given. All those who have solved it are getting impatient now. They want to see if their solution is right or wrong. And all those who have given up would also like to see the solution. So let's see. Let us start the solution now. So here's the question, right? I have reduced the font size again so that I have some space to work on. Let's look at it. So the directions are very simple. Study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. Now what is this information here? A, B, C, D, E, F, H and K are sitting around a circular table facing away from the center, but not necessarily in the same order. So what do you get to know from the first statement here? A, B, C, D, E, F, H and K. There are 8 persons, right? The count of persons is very important, right? So there are 8 persons here who are sitting around a circular table, right? All these guys are sitting around a circular table, right? Count of the persons is very important. So 8 persons sitting around a circular table. What is more important here is that they are facing away from the center, right? You know that circular arrangements can be of 2 types. One where the person is facing the center, the other where the person is facing outwards. So here we see that the persons are facing outwards. Why is this important? Because your direction, left or right, would depend on that, right? And not necessarily in the same order. So these are not seated in the same order there. Now look at the next point here. Each one of them is also related to B in some way. Each one of them is related to B in some way. So if you see out of these 8 persons, all the others A, C, D, F, D, E, F, H and K are related to B in some or the other way. So looks like this is a family, right? Family of 8 persons. The next point says B has siblings. All right, so B has siblings. Maybe B has got brothers and sisters there. And now the data starts, right? I mean, the real clues start. E sits third to the left of C. B is on the immediate right of C. Only one person sits between E and B's daughter. H sits on the immediate left of B's daughter, and so on. So no point in reading all the statements here, right? That would only kill your time. All you need to do is start working on it immediately. So what do? Draw a circular table first and mark the 8 positions, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, there can be multiple possibilities when you're trying it out, right? You may not be able to complete it in the first try itself, right? So you have to be smart enough to, duplicate these cases as and when required and try out all the possible ones parallelly. So we'll look at that, right? Let's start. Now look at the first point here. It says, and all of them are facing outwards. Now what is this? What does this mean? See, remember, when a person is facing the center, when a person is facing center of a circle, left for him will be in the clockwise direction. All these are basics you must be aware of, right? And the right should be in the anti-clockwise direction. But when a person is facing outwards, right, he's facing away from the center, then what happens? The left would be anti-clockwise and right would become clockwise. And in this case, since it is very clearly given that all of them are facing away from the center, we need to consider this. Right? So remember, right is going to be in the clockwise direction and left will be in the anti-clockwise direction. If they're facing the center, then left will be in the clockwise direction and right will be in the anti-clockwise direction. Very, very important, right? Without this basic clarity, you will not be able to proceed with these kind of questions. Now, E sits third to the left of C. The first point says E sits third to the left of C. Let's try it out. See, remember, one advantage that we have in circular arrangement is you can start anywhere from the circle, right? Because it is a closed loop, there is nothing like this is first position and this is second one or third one. You can consider any position to be the first one. I can start from the bottom, I can start from the top, I can start from left, right, wherever I want to, right? So let's start from the bottom. Let's see what happens. E sits third to the left of C. Let us assume C seated here. C seated here. Now E is third to the left of C. What will be left of C? Left of C should be anti-clockwise. Remember, persons are facing outwards. Left should be anti-clockwise. So E sits third to the left of C. So go in the anti-clockwise direction of C. 1, 2 and 3. E has to come here. E sits third to the left of C. Done, right? Next point. B sits on the immediate right of C. B sits on the immediate right of C. Now what is immediate right of C? See, right is in the clockwise direction. So immediate right would be this position. So B is on the right of C, right? Now next point here. Only one person sits between E and B's daughter. Only one person sits between E and B's daughter. Now here's where the confusion starts. First of all, we do not know who's B's daughter here. Out of this list of 8 persons, who's B's daughter is not clear to us, not known to us. Moreover, he says only one person sits between E and B's daughter. So E is already positioned here. If only one person has to sit between E and B's daughter, there are 2 possibilities. B's daughter can come here or here. Yes or no? One person has to come between E and B's daughter. So you can take either ways, right? E dash B's daughter or E dash B's daughter. Now here's where you need to take a call. Do you want to try out the next statement or do you want to try out both the possibilities together? See, usually I have found students trying one of the cases. What they would do is they'll take a chance. They will take a chance and they'll say, let us assume B's daughter is seated here. So they'll take B's daughter here and start completing the arrangement, which is highly risky in my view. Because by any chance, if let's say your assumption was wrong, You have considered B's daughter to be here, but let's say actually B's daughter is seated here. Then what happens? The entire arrangement goes for a toss. Eventually you will find out that something is wrong here. And then you have to start from the scratch. Again, you have to start from the beginning, because you will not know what was marked earlier, what was not marked, and so on. So a smart strategy here is to duplicate the existing case. This is one case. Let us copy the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At this point, some of the positions are already fixed, right? B seated here, C seated here, and E seated here. Let's mark those. And now consider the two possibilities. Who would come here? B's daughter, right? Only one person sits between E's and B's daughter. So let us assume in case 1, B's daughter is seated here, and in case 2, B's daughter is seated here. So let's assume this is the daughter. Okay, this position is for the daughter. In case 2, let's assume this position is for the daughter. You're able to follow? Only one person between E and B's daughter. Only one person between E and B's daughter. What is the advantage now? From now on, any point that we see here will be applied to both the cases, case 1 and case 2. We know that somewhere or the other, one of these two will get ruled out. But then the other is there. The other is readily available for us to proceed with, right? Now look at the next point. H sits on the immediate left of B's daughter. H sits on the immediate left of B's daughter. So B's daughter is already marked here. B's daughter should be taking this position. Who is B's daughter is not known to us. It can be any of the remaining 5 persons, but then its position is fixed. So H is on the immediate left of B's daughter. What is left of B's daughter? Left is anti-clockwise, right? So in this direction, H would come here. In this case, B's daughter is seated here. H is in the immediate left. So H is on the immediate left means H would come here, right? Look at the next point. Only 3 people sit between B's wife and H. Only 3 people sit between B's wife and H. Now this is pretty straightforward. So remember, this one technique, if you can remember, it will be easy for you to, save a couple of seconds, I would say. Whenever there are 8 persons to be arranged around a circular table, and the statement is like only 3 people sit between X and Y. X and Y have to be opposite. You're able to follow? In a circular arrangement which involves 8 persons, and one of the statements says that there are 3 persons between X and Y, you can just take it for granted that X and Y are going to be opposite. You're able to follow? For example, X sits here, let's assume. I mean, I'm not considering this arrangement, but for an example, let's assume X is seated here. Now only 3 persons between X and Y means what? You take either of the sides, 1, 2, 3, Y would come here. Or if you take in this side also, this direction also, 1, 2, 3, Y would come here. They are opposite to each other. You're able to follow? So always in a 8-member arrangement, 8-member circular arrangement, when the statement says that there are 3 people between, M and N. So M and N would be seated opposite to each other. So here he says there are only 3 people between B's wife and H. What happens? You don't have to do any counting. H is seated here, so B's wife would come here. As simple as that. You're able to follow? B's wife would come in that position. Let me just write it neatly so that we don't get confused, right? Wife comes here. Similarly, H is here, so wife would come here for this arrangement. Okay. Next point, only one. Now you may ask me, how much time did we save by knowing this? We have saved only 2 seconds, but even those 2 seconds are very precious, right? Only one person sits between B's wife and A. Only one person sits between B's wife and A. So B's wife's position is already marked. Only one person between B's wife and A. Try out. There will be 2 possibilities. Remember, in such cases, there are always 2 possibilities. Let's try both the possibilities in both the cases. So one person between wife and A. So wife dash A. Wife dash A, possible A can come here, or wife dash A. But can A come in this position? No. C is already seated here. So this side is ruled out. It has to be on that side only, right? So only one person between wife and A. So A has to come in this position. Similarly, in case 2, only one person between wife and A. So wife dash A. A cannot come here. C seated. So it has to be on the other side. Wife dash A. A comes here, right? D sits on the immediate left of F. D sits on the immediate left of F. Now this is interesting. D sits on the immediate left of F. If you observe, we have neither marked D nor have we marked F so far, right? D or F are not available in the arrangement that we have done so far. Both of them are new. But what is given in the statement here is that D sits on the immediate left of F. Now what do you mean by immediate left? Immediate left here indicates that D and F are neighbors. They are immediate neighbors. They are seated together. So we must have 2 consecutive positions available for both D and F. You're able to follow? All these are hidden points which you must understand. D sits on the immediate left of F. So you must realize that D and F are seated together. Now check both the cases. If there is any case where there are 2 consecutive positions unavailable, then you can rule it out. Right? I want 2 consecutive places for D and F. So if you look at case 1, Here there is a gap, but there is only one position available. So D and F cannot occupy this. But you see these two positions are free. Of course, we know that the wife sits here, but who is the wife is not known. So we can say that D and F can take these two positions, right? So this is possible, case 1 is possible. Case 2, in case 2 also, we have got two consecutive positions available. D and F can come in these two positions. This is ruled out for D or F. So both the cases are valid. So let's continue. So continue means what? Mark first of all. D sits on the immediate left of F. Now the point is, D and F have to come together in these two positions. But where exactly? Will it be D here and F there, or vice versa? D, F, let's assume. Check. What do we want? D sits on the immediate left of F. Now if you observe, if you come from F, is it left of F or right of F? From F we are going in the clockwise direction. So from F when you go in the clockwise direction, it becomes right. Because these are outward facing persons, right? Clockwise direction means right. So D sits on the immediate left of F means they will not be seated like this. They have to interchange their positions. So clear it up. I mean, I am giving you the detailed solution. If you are already clear with this direction sense and all, you can directly mark the positions as F and D. You will know that D would come here and F comes here because D is on the left of F, right? So F on the left of F is D. Similarly, in the second case, what happens? These are the two consecutive positions. We want D to be on the immediate left of F. So on the immediate left of F means F would come here and D comes here. So left of F, anti-clockwise, right? F and D. If you observe, as of now, we have got 7 persons arranged on the table. Only one is missing. Who is that person? I think A, B, C is done. A, B, C, D is done. And E, F, H are done. E, F, H are done. So K is left out, right? So K, where would K come? In the left out position. K comes here. And now it's connected that K is the daughter. I mean, we know that that position was meant for daughter. Now we can conclude that K is the daughter. Similarly, D is the wife. We must know that D is the wife here, right? So already couple of relationships have been established. We now need to go for the remaining ones. Okay. Now look at this. Only 3 people sit between B's mother and B's brother. Again the same point. Only 3 people between X and Y. Means what? These two guys have to be opposite to each other. Only 3 people sit between B's mother and B's brother. But the point is, in the arrangement that we have done so far, we have no clue about who is the mother and who is the brother. I mean, multiple possibilities are there, right? However, one hidden point, indirect point that we know here is that the mother and brother are seated opposite to each other. Only 3 people sit between B's mother and B's brother. So we should see, one way to do is, because nothing can be extracted from this point, you can just move to the next point and come back later. I can say that, you know, this particular point here, only 3 people sit between B's brother and B's mother. I can say this is not useful immediately because we don't know who the mother and brother are. So we can just move to the next point and come back later after everything else is fixed. But then there are a lot of things which should run in your mind when you read such statements, and a lot of verifications should be done instantly. Like for example, I know that mother and brother, the mother and brother here, right? The mother and brother are opposite to each other. Why are they opposite to each other? Because 3 persons are seated between them. We have already discussed this point. If you look at the arrangements, see, they have to be opposite. So can they be B and E? Can mother and brother be B and E? Not possible. Because see, it is B's mother and B's brother. So how can B be B's mother, or how can B be B's brother? Not possible. So B and E is ruled out. We are trying to look at the pair, mother and brother pair. So can the mother and brother pair be B and E? No, not possible. Ruled out. Can that be H and D? Not possible. Because out of H and D, one is wife. We already know that D is wife. So how can D be mother or brother? Not possible. So this is also ruled out. Can it be K and F? Not possible. Because out of K and F, K is the daughter. So there is only one person left, F. So F will either be mother or brother, but it cannot be both, right? So K and F is also ruled out. Very clearly, the only possibility is A and C. We can now conclude that A and C will be the mother and brother pair there, mother and brother combination. Now again, among A and C, who is mother and who is the brother is not very clear. But then A and C will form the combination there, mother-brother combination. Similarly, in the second case also, if you see, B and E are ruled out, D and H are ruled out, F and K are ruled out, A and C are remaining. So A and C will be the mother and brother combination. So that clarity has to be there. I mean, we will not be able to fix it even now. We don't know who exactly is the mother and who is the brother, but then you should be clear with that point. Next point, you see, B's son sits second to the left of K. So this can be fixed. B's son sits second to the left of K. K is here, second to the left of K. K is here, right? Left of K. What is left of K? Anti-clockwise. So B's son sits, very interesting. B's son sits second to the left of K. Second to the left of K. So come second to the left of K. 1 and 2. This should be B's son.
Now tell me, is it possible that B himself is B's son? According to this point, B's son sits second to the left of K. We will get son here in this position. Now we are saying that B is the son of B. How is that possible? This should be the son of B, and this itself is B. So B is the son of B is not possible, right? See, B and B son cannot be the same person, which means case 1 is wrong. Now you can forget about it. I told you at some or the other point it will get eliminated. One of these two cases will get eliminated. Case 1 is ruled out. Case 2 has to be the answer. By any chance, if you find that case 2 also is going wrong, it means you have gone wrong somewhere in filling up the values. Right? Let's see. B son sits second to the left of K. Second to the left of K. B son. This would be son. Right? Left of K. Second to the left of K. So this stands correct so far. Now B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. This also is important. B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. Now who is brother and who is father is not very clear. What we only know is B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. Neither brother nor father have been marked so far. So nothing can be done about it. Just move on to the next point. We'll come back to this point later. B's mother sits second to the left of D. This point is important. B's mother sits second to the left of D. D is marked here. Second to the left of D. First and second. Second to the left of D. This is mother. Who's the mother? C is the mother. Right? Now, go back to our point that we discussed earlier. If C is mother, A has to be the brother. We can say that A is the brother, because we know that A and C is the mother-brother pair, right? So A has to be the mother. So which means we have also used this point, the highlighted point there. Only 3 people sit between. This is done right. We have got the information out of it. Now what is only left is this particular point here, that B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. If you look at the arrangement that you have done so far, B is the main person because everybody is connected to B. Then B's mother, B's daughter. We don't know what is the relationship of H with B. B's son, B's brother, and B's wife. So only F and H are left out. F and H. What do we know? B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. B's brother sits third to the left of B's father. Look at this now. Brother is third to the left of father. So obviously out of H and F, one of them is father. Who is the father? Who do you think should be the father? H should be the father. H should be the father. I'll tell you why. If you take H is the father, what happens? Brother is third to the left of father, right? So go third to the left from the father. Third from the father on the left side. Brother is third to the left of father. So father is here, third to the left of father. First, second, and third. F becomes the brother. Yes or no? This statement is used here now. B's brother sits third to the left of father. So first, second, and third. Now maybe some of you have got a point, question here, that how is that A and F both are brothers? Could be possible. Is it given anywhere that there is only one brother? No. To be honest, even when I was trying it out, I thought, why is that there are 2 brothers? There should be 1 sister. But he has not mentioned about sister at all. What he has only mentioned is B has siblings. Look at this point, B has siblings. Now both the siblings of B can be brothers, both can be sisters, or one can be sister and one can be brother. Right? Or maybe there is only one sibling. But here overall, if you see in the entire data given to us, he has talked about mother, father, son, daughter, wife. He has never talked about sister. So which means yes, both of them are brothers. Both brothers are possible. So that's the final arrangement, right? The case 2 that we had tried is correct. And look at the point that I had explained to you earlier. If you try only with one of the cases, case 1 let's say, eventually at this point you will find out that this is wrong. And then you have to start over again. So better always take both the cases parallelly and try it out. Do not go by the length of my explanation, because I was trying to do it in detail here. I was not solving the problem. I was explaining the problem to you. I was explaining the solution to you, right? So it obviously takes a little longer. But when you do it yourself and quickly, do the alignment, assignment and elimination, it will be very easy. Okay. So that's the final arrangement. I hope all of you have got the same answer. So let me just quickly read out, starting from C in the clockwise direction. C, B, D, F, A, E, H, K. And relationships from the same position. C onwards are mother, self, because everybody is related to B, right? Mother, self, wife, brother, son, father, daughter. Okay. Let's quickly look at the questions here, right? Let's quickly look at the questions and then I'll answer your queries if you have any. Okay, so I think I'll have to clear all the underlinings here. Just 1 minute. Yeah, so I hope you can see the first question there. Try to answer. Sorry about this. Yeah, so try and answer the question now. First question, who among the following sits fourth to the right of A? Who among the following sits fourth to the right of A? Now A is seated here. What is right, clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise. So go in the clockwise direction. Fourth to the right of A. First, second, third, fourth. Is C the answer? Yes, C will be the answer. You getting it? Option 2 will be the correct answer. Fourth to the right of A is C. Again, if you are a smart person, you will not do this counting. First, second, third, fourth. Why is so? Why is it so? Because you know that there are 8 persons in this arrangement, and when there are 8 persons, the fourth to the right or fourth to the left person will always be the one who is seated opposite. You are getting it? Again, this will not save 5-6 seconds. It will save only 2 seconds for you, but even that those 2 seconds are precious. So, you know, all these techniques would help. If I do it smartly, what do I do? Who among the following sits 4 to the right of A? I know that 4 to the right of A will be the one who is opposite to A. Opposite to A is C. I will not do 1, 2, 3, 4 clockwise, anti-clockwise, because whether you go clockwise or anti-clockwise, the opposite person would remain the same. But remember, all these conditions are applicable only when there are 8 persons. If there are 9 persons or 7 persons or any other value, then you will have to be careful. So option 2 is the answer for this question. Next question, who among the following is daughter of B? Who is the daughter of B? Daughter of B is K. So option 4 is the answer. Straight. See, answering the questions is the cakewalk. Once you have done the arrangement, questions can be answered very easily. How is D related to E? How is D related to E? Now this is interesting. How is D related to E? See, D is the wife of B and E is the son of B. You're getting it? D is the wife of B and E is the son of B. So can you now make out that D is the mother of E? Yes or no? You don't have to draw a family tree for that, right? You can straight say that D is the mother of E. Anyway, let me just draw the family tree also for you. We are connecting everyone with B. So we know that D is the wife of B and E is the son of B. E is the son of B. Remember our conventions, right? Blood relations conventions. Whenever we use a double-headed arrow between 2 persons, it means it is a married couple. So B here is the husband, D is the wife. Right? Married couple. All these rules have been discussed in our blood relations video. You can watch that. So B and D makes a husband and wife couple. Sorry, not B and D makes husband and wife couple, and E is the son of B. So he's asking us to find out how is D related to E. D is husband's son. Your husband's son is your son. So E is the son of D, or D is the mother of E. So D is the mother of E. Okay, and then be careful. The question is, how is D related to E? D is the mother of E. Suppose if he says, how is E related to D? How is E related to D? E is the son of D. So you have to be careful with that, right? I'm sure if, let's say, one of the options was son, option 2 was son, some of you would have marked option 2 as the answer here in a hurry. Never do that, right? Be careful. After having spent so much time, you cannot be committing such silly mistakes. How is D related to E? D is the mother of E. How is E related to D? E is the son of D. Let me present the next set of questions also. Yeah, there are a few more questions. Look at this. Who among the following sits third to the left of B's father's wife? B's father's wife. Now B's father's wife is B's mother. Yes or no? You just look at this part. Father's wife is like mother. So I can replace this with mother. So who among the following sits third to the left of B's mother? Who is B's mother? C is B's mother. So basically B's mother, instead of saying B's mother, we can say the question is about C. Who is third to the left of C? Third to the left of C, first, second, third. Third to the left of C is E. Right? Left is always in the anti-clockwise direction because persons are facing outwards. So option 2 is the answer. How many persons are there between A and C? How many persons are there between A and C? A and C are opposite to each other. So 3 persons. Either you do left side or right side, you will find 3 persons only, right? Anti-clockwise or clockwise, there are 3 persons. 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 persons between A and C. I think there are a couple of more questions. Yeah, this was a 7 marks question. Obviously, I mean, there's some blood relations involved, right? So they can also give it for 7 marks. So here is the 6th and 7th question. Look at this. What does it say? The first one, I mean the first one here on the screen. How many children does C have? Now this is interesting. How many children does C have? Remember, C is B's mother. C is B's mother if you have to complete the family tree. C is B's mother. Now how many children does C have? See, C child is B, C son is B. But we know that B has also got 2 siblings, A and F. So altogether if you see, there will be 3 children that C has. Yes or no? All these 3 are siblings. F, A, B, all 3 are siblings, right? B, A, F, all 3 are siblings. And if B is the child of C, A and F will also be the children of C. So how many children does C have? C has got 3 children. B, A and F. Remember, D is not the child of C. D is the daughter-in-law. Cannot be considered as child, right? Only 3 children. So option 4 would be the answer. Who is the brother-in-law of D? who is the brother-in-law of D? Who is the brother-in-law of D? Understand again. Who is D? D is B's wife. So for your wife, who is the brother-in-law? Wife's husband's brother. Your husband's brother is your brother-in-law. Who is the brother-in-law of D? So from D's point of view, who will be the brother-in-law? D's husband's brother. Now D's husband is B and husband's brothers are A and F. So actually both A and F are brothers-in-law, right? A is a brother-in-law, F also is a brother-in-law. Look at the options. B, no. H, no. F, possible. F is a brother-in-law, right? Cannot be determined. Can you say cannot be determined? No. Answer can be determined. We very well know that A and F are the brothers-in-law. So option 4 also looks incorrect. Option 5, E. Is E the brother-in-law? No. E is not the brother-in-law. Now if you see 3 options have got eliminated, there are 2 choices left. Who is the brother-in-law of D? Is it F or cannot be determined? F. A better option here is F. F is the brother-in-law of D. Of course, you can argue that A is also the brother-in-law of D, but from the given options, the best one is F. I would not go for cannot be determined. You are able to follow? Of course, if options were given as F and A, then it would have been even better, but options are not given that way, right? So F is the answer. Option 3 is the answer. Clear to all of you? F is the right answer, option 3. And I think that's it. We are done with this complex circular arrangement. Okay, so let me very quickly look at your queries. If there is any concern or any question here, please post it so that I can address it, or we can move on to the next one. We are already at 6:50, so we have just about 10 minutes left. I want to solve maybe at least a couple of more questions before we proceed, call it off. So any questions? Did you all follow this? I hope all of you have followed. So if you ask me, yes, it was complex, but if you do it in a step-by-step process, right, in a step-by-step manner, and look at every detailed, everything in detail, right, even points which are hidden, you will be able to crack it easily, right? I mean, if you actually ask me, this was an easy one, right? I mean, this was an easy one. Complex, but yes, an easier one in complex. We have solved a lot more complex questions in our live doubts clarification sessions that we do on every Tuesday, every Thursday and every Saturday, right, for the TalentSprint students. I just recall that one of the questions that was posted in our discussion forum on complex circular arrangement was very interesting, right? There the question said that there are 8 persons, again, which involve blood relations. Let me just give you a insight on what all was supposed to be done. We can probably discuss that some other time. So there are 8 persons in a family. All these 8 persons have, gone to a restaurant to have food, right? They are out somewhere to have food. So obviously when they are sitting in a restaurant, they are seated in a circular table, right, on a circular table. So we have to arrange these 8 persons around the circular table. Something similar to this. So 8 persons, all of them are related to each other. Family, it's a family, right? All of them are related to each other and they are seated around a circular table. So till that it is fine. It is like this question only, right? But then there were at least 3 or 4 other variables which has to be managed there. What is that? What are those variables? Number 1, we also had to find out who is a male person and who is a female person, which I think we have done here also. I mean, based on the relationship, you will know whether a person is male or female. What is the most complex part in that question was some of them were seated facing the center, others were facing outwards. Here the advantage we had is all the persons are outwards, all the persons are facing outwards, which means it's very clear that left is anti-clockwise and right is clockwise. But just imagine a case where some are center facing, some are facing the center, others are facing outwards. You have to use both the possibilities, right? I mean, if the person is facing center, then left is clockwise. If the person is facing outwards, then left is anti-clockwise. And it doesn't end there. We do not know who's facing center and who's facing outwards. That is indirectly given to us. You have to extract that. So that's one complexity. Other complexities, we have to find out which dish have these guys ordered. I mean, all of them have ordered different items from the menu there. So who has ordered which item also has to be identified. And yeah, the other thing was how many of them are vegetarians and how many of them are non-vegetarians. I mean, like, I think a couple of them were non-vegetarians, the remaining were vegetarians. So all these things have to be done. Imagine 8 persons seated around a circular table, blood relationships involved. You have to find out the genders, you have to find out who has ordered what, you have to find out who's facing center, who's facing outwards, and what else? You have to find out who's a vegetarian and who's a non-vegetarian. Now look at the complexity involved there. Would you like to try such questions in the exam? Well, I don't know about you,
but smart students will skip it. If I am writing the exam, if I am taking the SBI APU exam, I would definitely skip it, and that's the easiest solution, believe me. A lot of times I've explained this. In fact, every time I solve a complex assignment question or a complex arrangement question, I say that you better skip such questions. Remember, you're not there to solve all the questions. You are there to solve the maximum possible in that limited time. And for that to happen, you have to be very wise in picking up your questions. So this is, I mean, that would be one question which you should skip. When I say skip, I am actually not saying that you should not solve it at all. Solve the remaining questions first. If time permits, come back. And usually time doesn't permit. These are very tight in terms of time management, right? These exams. So indirectly, I am saying, yeah, skip it. At least for the time being, definitely skip it. Solve the easier ones first. Solve questions from syllogism, solve questions from machine input output, solve questions from blood relations, solve questions from coded inequalities. Because there we have a definite solution. Here you never know how complex the question is unless you start trying it. And even one try may take 10 minutes. Even this one, 7 marks question, I agree, a high weightage, but it will easily take about 5 minutes, not less than 5 minutes, right? I mean, if you're really quick, then maybe you will finish it in about 3.5, 4 minutes, but not lesser than that. So you have to be very, very careful when you choose to attempt such questions. Okay, so that's one very important learning that you should take away from the session today. Let me now present you the next set of questions which are from coded inequalities. Now this is an interesting one, right? Usually in coded inequalities, what happens? Statements are given followed by conclusions. We are supposed to identify which of the conclusions follow the given statements, but now it's reversed. Conclusions have been given and we are supposed to identify which of the statements would be valid for the given conclusions to be true, right? So that's like the new syllogism format, right? If you remember, or maybe you guys may not be aware, but we have discussed this reverse syllogism questions in our doubts clarification sessions, right? Conclusions are given, statements have to be identified. Same way here, conclusions are given, statements have to be identified. Okay, so I'll just present the screen now with the next question. Let's see how many of you get the right answers. And I can sense that all of you have got the solution here. All of you have followed this solution. So I'm glad that I can move to the next one. Some of you have asked me how much time should be taken to solve such questions. Anthony has posted this, right? How much time should we take to solve such questions? In my view, you should take 0 seconds. Why? Because you're not going to solve it in the exam, right? The best way to solve complex arrangements is not to solve. Just skip and move to the next one. I know this may sound a little difficult to digest, but you will realize once you appear for one of the exams. Okay, let me present the next question, and here we go. I don't think we'll be able to solve many questions now. Maybe we'll just look at a couple of such questions here. So look at the directions. In these questions, a relationship between different elements is shown in the conclusions. The conclusions are following two statements. Give answers where all conclusions can be drawn using only statement 1, only statement 2, either statement 1 or statement 2, neither statement 1 nor statement 2, or both statement 1 and statement 2. Okay, so just give it a shot. I'll give you 1 minute for this. Let's see how many of you get it right. Conclusions have been given. Conclusions, you know, are those which are definitely true. I've already got a few responses here, but not all are matching, right? Panku Ragi has got 4, but Tulika Singh has got 5. Shaz has got option 4. Sonali has got option 5. So I think you guys are a little confused, right? Nayan Agarwal says it is neither 1 nor 2, which is option 4. Sashi Kumar, Rakesh, Manisha have got option 5. Naman Agarwal and Raghunandan have got option 4. Abhijit Gupta has got option 2. So a completely new answer now. Abhijit says only 2 is sufficient. Who else have got the answer? I think 4 and 5 is the confusion, right? Is it 4 or 5? The coded inequalities, in my view, is the easiest topic from reasoning, right? I mean, if you remember the 3 golden rules that we had discussed, I see Deepika has marked option 3 as the answer. So I think a variety of answers here, right? Samiksha Nanda has got option 5. Sashi Jyoti has got option 1. So it looks like you have covered almost all the options here, right? Option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But a majority of you are stuck between 4 and 5. So what do we do? How do we solve such questions? So three golden rules. I mean, that's what I was talking about, right? If you go and watch the coded inequalities video, we have got 3 rules covered there. And if you are thorough with those 3 rules, I will not be able to discuss that in detail here. I'm sure you can go back and watch our videos available. But those 3 rules will help you answer all such questions, whatever be the format. Conclusions from statements, statements from conclusions, right? Coded inequalities, direct inequalities, any type of question there, fill in the blanks. All those questions can be answered using those 3 rules. So let's look at it. So
You have understood, I'm sure, right? In these questions, the relationship between different elements is shown in the conclusions. The conclusions are following two statements. Give answers where all conclusions can be drawn using only statement 1 or only statement 2, either 1 or 2, neither 1 or 2, both 1 and 2. Now look at the first one here. Conclusions are T greater than D, R less than or equal to D, and J less than N. These are the three conclusions, that T has to be greater than D, R has to be less than or equal to D, and J less than N. Now look at the statements. So let's first focus on the first conclusion, right? We want T to be greater than D. Look at the first statement, T is greater than D. Is T greater than D? Yes. If you look at this, statement 1, it says T greater than N, greater than K, greater than D. So when you compare T to D, what are the different inequalities we have between T and D? Greater than, and greater than. And according to rule number 2 that we have discussed in quoted inequalities, the answer will be T greater than D, right? You have to take the most commonly used inequality there. I mean, not the most commonly used, but what flows throughout, greater, greater, greater. So obviously T is greater than D. So which means the first inequality, first statement gives you the first conclusion, right? First conclusion is true according to first statement. Look at the second one, R less than or equal to D. Now this is interesting, R less than or equal to D. According to statement 1, R is equal to D. So can we say statement 1 alone is sufficient? No, because the conclusion says R is either less than D or it is equal to D. But the statement says R is equal to D. Only equality is given. R less than D is not given here. So very clearly, only statement 1 sufficient gets eliminated. Are you able to follow? Let's eliminate the wrong answers. Only 1 is sufficient is wrong. You're able to follow? Again, I mean, if you just throw a glance, statement 2 says R greater than D. Only R, I mean, R greater than D is given. So definitely statement 2 also is wrong, because we know that R is either less than D or R is greater than D. R is either less or it is greater. So it is, I mean, R is either less or it is equal. R is either less than D or it is equal to D. But what is given here is R is greater than D. So definitely statement 2 is wrong, right? Now tell me, what do you think should be the answer? I mean, let's not look at the remaining conclusions. At this point, can we decide what the correct answer is? Anyone? Do we have to do the complete solution, or can we mark the answer here itself? I think if you are smart, you would here itself say that answer should be neither 1 nor 2 is sufficient. Neither 1 nor 2 is sufficient, because the directions clearly said that we have to find out the answers where all conclusions can be drawn. See, all conclusions can be drawn. All conclusions can be drawn using only statement 1 or only statement 2. So can all the conclusions be drawn using only statement 1? No, because second one fails in statement 1. Can all the conclusions be drawn only statement 2? No, second one fails in statement 2 as well, right? So either 1 or 2, even that is not gonna help us, because even if you consider either or, R less than or D is not available. Can both 1 and 2 be used together? No, both 1 and 2 also cannot be used together. Why? Because even if I use both 1 and 2, my conclusion for R and D, the relationship that we establish between R and D would be what? R greater than D or R equal to D, right? We can say R greater than or equal to D, but what is given in the conclusion is R less than or equal to D. So even both together will not help us. So obviously our answer has to be option 4. Neither 1 nor 2 is sufficient. You're able to follow? Neither 1 nor 2 is sufficient. Remember, we are not even worried about J less than N. We have not verified J less than N anywhere, because we don't need to. It has failed here, right? Here itself we know that 1, 2, both 1 and 2 or either 1 or 2 will not help us. It should be neither 1 nor 2. So your answer is option 4, right? Answer would all be option 4, right? So be smart. I mean, don't waste your time in verifying J less than N. Of course, verification would not take much time. J less than N, J less than R equal to D less than K less than N. Yes, J less than N is correct. According to statement 1, J less than N is correct. According to statement 2, J and N cannot be established at all, because J is not given there. So the point is, first conclusion is satisfied in 1. First conclusion is satisfied in 2 as well. Second conclusion is not satisfied anywhere. Third conclusion is satisfied in 1. But is there anything, I mean, do you find 1 everywhere or 2 everywhere? No. Second conclusion fails. Are you able to follow? Just do this verification. What we have done here, right? Conclusion number 1 is satisfied in statement 1. It is satisfied in statement 2 as well. Conclusion number 2 is not satisfied in 1 or in 2. Or even if you use both of them together, conclusion 2 cannot be established. That is why we said answer is option 4. And conclusion 3, if at all you check, you will find that it is satisfied from statement 1, but not from statement 2. So your answer is option 4. Okay. Let's look at the next one, right? I hope all of you have got idea here. Let's look at one more question. And I think I'll stop it after this. So your time starts now. 30 seconds. Let's see how many of you get it right. Okay, Shravan Kumar is the first one to respond. He has got option 1. Shaz has also got option 1. How about others? Panku Ragi has got 1. So it looks like all of you are on the same page, at least for the next one here, right? Naman Agarwal has got 1. Nayan Agarwal has got 1. Animesh Das has got 1. Arjun Dikshit has got 1. Riya Sinha has got 1. Yeah. Johnny, Manish Majumdar, Monica, Rikesh, Mohit, Sashi, Kiran, all of you have got, right? Siddesh Deshpande has also got 1. Sandeep Kumar Das has got 1. Good. So I think all of you have got option 1 here. Let's verify this. So the second question. Conclusions are B greater than K, K less than R, J less than N. So let's look at B greater than K. The first one here, first conclusion, B greater than K. So from statement 1, is B greater than K correct? Yes. Because B is equal to R, R greater than J, J greater than K. What are we applying? We are applying rule number 2, right? Rule 2 says that B and R can be interchanged. So if you put B in this place, what happens? B is greater than J and J is greater than K. So obviously B will be greater than K, right? So B greater than K is satisfied in statement 1. K less than R, look at K less than R. K less than R, yes, very clearly K is less than R. K is less than J and J is less than R. So K would be less than R. This also is satisfied. J less than N. Look at this, J less than N, yes. Again, if you see, only look at this part. N is greater than B is equal to R is greater than J. Now you know that when B is equal to R, any one can be used. So I can actually reduce it as follows. N greater than B greater than J. Because anyway B and R are equal. So what happens? J is less than B and B is less than N. J less than B and B less than N, which means J is less than N. So J less than N is also satisfied. Now all the three conclusions have been satisfied in statement 1 itself. Right? From statement 1 itself, we can derive all the three conclusions. So can I mark my answer as option 1? No. You would be wrong if you mark the answer as option 1 at this point. I repeat, you would be wrong if you mark the answer as option 1 at this point. Although all the three conclusions have been verified from statement 1 itself, do not mark option 1 as the answer. I am not saying option 1 is wrong. What I am saying is marking option 1 as the answer at this stage would be wrong. You're able to follow? You have to check the second set of statements as well. Remember, there is this option 3 which says either 1 or 2. It could be possible that all the three are correct in option 1, statement 1, and all three are possible in statement 2 as well. In that case, what happens? In that case, what happens? Your answer will change, right? Option 3. So be careful, right? Don't try to be over smart or don't try to solve such questions in a hurry. You have to be very, very careful. So let's check the three conclusions in statement 2 now. B greater than K. So if I look at it, B is equal to R, R less than J, J less than K. So what happens? B is less than K. According to this, B is less than K. What do we want? We want B to be greater than K. So the first conclusion has failed in statement 2. So that's it. Here itself I can stop now. I now know that statement 2 is not gonna be helpful. So your answer would be option 1. So although all of you have got the right answer, that only statement 1 is sufficient, I just want to verify how many of you had actually verified statement 2 also. You're getting it? I would say you are lucky that option 1 is the answer. If you are not verified statement 2 and marked option 1, you are very lucky. Because you actually committed a mistake. You did not verify the second set of statements. So be very careful while answering such questions. Again, I would say coded inequalities is all about those three rules that we have discussed in our videos, right? So just refer to those three rules and get cracking with these questions. Now, honestly, before I leave you all, tell me how many of you had verified the second one as well. I think a lot of you have verified, right? Already have started commenting. Arjun Dikshit, Naman Agarwal, Vaishnavi, Shaz, Rakesh Muduli, Meera. All of them are verified. How many of you did not verify? Let us just check that. How many of you have marked option 1 as the answer without verifying? I'm actually glad that you are like on the right track, right? You've verified both the statements. But anyone who did not? Yes. Susan Voila did not. Arvind Gupta, Akash did not, right? Yeah, but not, yeah. Mrityunjay Kumar did not verify. Good. So I think a vast majority here has verified it. So I'm glad about that, right? So keep up the good work and I'm sure you will do well in your examination. So let's close it here. Thank you all for joining us in this session. I would like to repeat a few points. We are conducting an All India mock exam open to all of you every weekend, right? Saturday and Sunday. So please participate in that All India mock exam, right? And benchmark yourselves against the competition across India, right? How do you register for this exam? Visit talentsprint.com/mock test 2017, right? I
Repeat, talentsprint.com/mock test, MOCK mock TEST test 2017. You can register yourself for the only mock exam there and participate in it. Again, we'll meet next week with the paper discussion on one particular subject. Okay. Also, we'll be coming up with daily tips or prep tips for your SBI PO exam. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our WhatsApp broadcast list, so that you don't miss out on these daily tips or the daily dosages that we would provide. All right, on that note, let me close it here. Thank you once again for joining us. Keep practicing, because the more you practice, the easier it gets. I'll see you all in the next session. Until then, take very good care of yourselves. Bye.